Hello and welcome to everybody on Cloud Fitness. So in today's video, we are going to discuss how we can load Parquet file format data in Snowflake. So this means that you have data in Parquet format and you want to load it into the Snowflake table. So this will be our topic of discussion today, and we will look in detail. We will do a hands-on session on how this can be achieved in Snowflake. So coming on to the loading of Parquet file into the Snowflake, already we have been discussing a lot about loading, your CSV file, your JSON file in the Snowflake table. So similar to that, we have Parquet file loading into the table. We have to use put command to put the data into the internal stage. We will create a stage. We will use put command in SnowSQL to put the data in the internal stage, and then we will use a copy into command to load the data into the table, right? So this is essentially that we are going to do for today. And the data set, the sample data set which I will be using for this particular demo, I will leave the link in the description box for that particular dataset. So I will be using cities.parquet file, and the same link I will share it with you as well, so that you can also copy the same demo session in your systems as well. So as you already know that we should have a target relational table for the data that we want to load into Snowflake. We should have that target table, right? So if you go back to this particular diagram, we should have this target table created, we should have this internal stage created, we should have this Parquet file as well. These three things we need to set up first. Now to do that, let me go to the portal, and let me just copy this command, right? Create or replace table cities. So we are going to create a table. Let me just select my warehouse, let me just select my database and my schema. Let us check the data warehouse, my database, and then this public schema. So this is the same what we have been using in our past videos, and this is how my table looks like. Table cities, it has continents, country and city as the column. So let me just run this command. You can see that table cities got successfully created. Now if I go to my database and if I go to public over here, you can see the cities on the left hand side. Now if I try to preview the data, there will be no data, but it will have all the three columns over here, right? So this part is done. We have the target table created, right? Also we need to create a file format object. We already know, I have talked about this, that this file format object will store the details related to your file, right? It will store the details related to what type of file you are using, right? What is the delimiter? All these details you can specify in the file format, and the same file format will be used to create the stage, right? So this is how it looks like. Create or replace file format, right? This is the name of the file format, and then the type is Parquet, right? Now let me just run this as well, so that our file format is created, and you can see that this file format got successfully created. Now we will move on and create a stage. Now if you can see over here, create or replace temporary stage. So stages can be temporary as well as non-temporary as well. So we will be creating a non-temporary stage for now, right? Temporary stage are only available till the session, like until the session is there, the temporary stage will be available. So in our case, I am going to create a non-temporary stage, right? The stage will not be temporary. Create or replace stage name, right? File format equal to the same file format which we have created. So in case you have any doubts on these steps which I am taking, you can go ahead and watch the previous videos as well, because all these steps have actually come from there. I have explained the file format, I have explained the stage, everything I have explained it, right? So it is pretty much the same thing. So now we have the stage ready, right? If I go back to this diagram, we have the table ready, we have the internal stage ready. To create internal stage, we have created a file format, and using that file format we have created this internal stage, right? Now if I go back to the command prompt. Now this is ready, and we just want and remember, like, internal stage is ready, table is ready, right? We let me show you even the Parquet file that I have, right? This Parquet file also I'll show you. So if you can see over here, right, we have the cities.parquet file. I have stored it in one particular location. If I click on edit with notepad++, you will not be able to see anything over here properly, right? So this is how a Parquet file will look like to you. You will not be able to read it, properly. It is not in a human readable format. And this is how my cities.parquet file look like, and I have this. Now what I need to do is, I have this file as well. I need to run this put command. Now to run this put command, as we have discussed in our previous videos, we need to log into SnowSQL. We need to go to the command prompt and need to log into SnowSQL. Now to do that, we have the command. Let me just write in the command over here, SnowSQL -a, which is nothing but the account name. Account name starts from here and it goes till here, right? Now if you see, essentially, let me go back to my SnowSQL command. So if you see the SnowSQL -a, which is nothing but the account name, and then you have the location, which is Central India, and then you have the cloud provider, which is nothing but Azure. -u is the username with which you want to log in. This again I have explained you in in my previous videos as well. Now let me simply type in the passwords that I have, and now you can see that you are linked, logged in to the Snowflake. And now just let me type in use database, right? Because I want to use my database as my database, so that's why I have added use my database. And similarly, I want to use a particular warehouse, so I will just simply type in use warehouse, which is my warehouse, right? Now you can see I am using my warehouse, I am using my database and public schema. Now using this, what I can do is I will simply use put command, right? Put command, which we have been talking about from like a lot of our videos. We have been talking about this put command. So essentially you can actually see that I'll paste it over here, put file. This is the location where my file is present, right? So this is the location, local disk C, temp folder, and load, right? So in this location my cities.parquet file is present, and then I want to load it to a stage which I have created. What is the name of the stage that I have created? sf_tut_stage, right? This is the same stage which I have created over here, right? I want to load my data into the stage from the Parquet file, right? So the moment I click on enter, you can actually see that it says, okay, I have loaded the data. This is my source size, this is my target size, this is my source compression, this is my target compression, and I have uploaded this file, right? It has uploaded this particular file in the stage. Now the data is in stage, but to load it into the table, right, we need to add a copy command. Right, we need to add a copy command, right? But now in this case, we want to load the Parquet data, right? If you see, I want to load this Parquet data into a relational table, right? I want to have each data going into my particular column, right? Because if I go back and if I open my cities table, I have continent, country, and city. I want each data, right, to go to a designated column, right? So that's why I have to do a transformation over here, right? Copy into cities. Now let me just simply copy this command and I'll explain you this. And let me simply go here and type in here. Now essentially you can see that it says copy into cities. Cities is nothing but my target table. From select $1 continent varchar, $country name varchar, $country city variant. So essentially what does it mean? From this particular stage, right, cities.parquet file. So in this particular stage we have cities.parquet file. Take the data from there, and what do you need to take? So all the data from a Parquet file is actually stored under one column, right? So from that one column we are actually taking continent, from that one column we are taking country name, from that one column we are taking country city, right? This is how we are actually taking the data from that particular Parquet file. Now this $1 represent your single column from which you are trying to fetch in the data, right? So you are copying into cities, you are copying the data into cities, and that data you are selecting from single column which is loaded by the Parquet file in the stage, right? So let me just click on enter. The moment I click on enter, right, you will see that it tells you that okay, this is the file, the status is loaded, how many number of rows I have added, the number of rows passed, the number of rows loaded is actually equal to 3, right? And the status is loaded, so it is successfully loaded. Now if I go back over here and I re-preview the data, now you can see that it has added continent, country and city very clearly in the table. So this is how you can even copy unstructured data as well in the Snowflake data warehouse, right? If you want to do a select star directly from command line, you can do that as well. You can simply say select star from cities, right? So the moment you do the select star from cities, you can see that the data also, the three rows can are also visible over here. So this is the power of SnowSQL. This is how you can use SnowSQL to load the data into the Snowflake table using the put command. So it is very simple now. I think if you have been watching all the previous videos, then this thing has become, I think it would have become really very stronger for you, that it is very simple. You take in the file, create a stage, create a target table, use put command to load the data into the stage, and take the data from stage using copy command and load it into the table, right? In case you want to do any manipulation on the data before moving on to the table, you can do it in the select query itself, in the copy command itself, right? The way we have been doing it. So do let me know in the comment section if you have any doubt or you have any questions, and thank you so much for being till here.